sixth shortest odds to win the Super Bowl. Let's hear from Jayden this morning on the difference between year one and year two.
Just being more comfortable in the offense, another year under my belt, under the system, and trying to understand what Cliff is calling, what we want to accomplish as an offense. And I got different tools in my tool belt, as Coach Bobby Johnson would say, having tools in my tool belt to get to different protections, to get to different runs versus certain looks. So yeah, most definitely a night and day.
Jayden Daniels enters 2025 tied with Patrick Mahomes for the fourth shortest odds to win MVP. If Jayden were to win the award, he would become the seventh player to win MVP within his first two seasons. Stephen A., are MVP expectations fair for Jayden Daniels?
I think they're fair. I mean, when you finish as a rookie top 7 in MVP voting, you got a chance, because it wasn't just what you did in the regular season, but you validated, the proclamations of who you were and what you bring to the table with your performance in the playoffs until that NFC Championship game. And so we got to give credit where credit is due. And by the way, when they got blitzed by the Philadelphia Eagles, it wasn't Jayden Daniels who didn't show up. I mean, there was a lot of veterans out there for the Washington Commanders that were no-shows in that NFC Championship game, but it wasn't him. And so when you look at his poise, his accuracy, the dual threat that he is in terms of his mobility, the fact that they've now acquired Deebo Samuels, obviously they've improved the offensive line as well. You got to make sure you get McLaurin re-upped and make sure he's there for you. All of those things taken into consideration, along with the profile that he's going to bring to himself, because he's in an NFC division with the Dallas Cowboys and also with the reigning defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. The spotlight is going to be on him. And if he performs, obviously that's going to curry favor, which is going to curry votes, which would put him in a position to challenge for a league MVP award.
RC?
Yeah, I mean, think about this, right? When Kanye West dropped College Dropout, we couldn't wait for late registration, and it ended up being a better album, right? That's what we have to expect from Jayden Daniels. And yes, the expectations are difficult. Think about the high expectations we had for C.J. Stroud coming off of an amazing rookie year. We watched that team, the Houston Texans, and protection was an issue the entire year. He couldn't be or reach the same level of success, the same level of progress. And so now for Jayden Daniels, Adam Peters says we're not going to allow that to happen. We're going to go out, we're going to add Deebo Samuel. We're going to go out, we're going to draft the right tackle. We're going to bring in Laramie Tunsil, because they understand who they have in their young quarterback, and they are trying to capitalize on having a great quarterback on a rookie contract. So I expect Jayden Daniels to play well. They went out and added pieces on this defense because they understand it's time to compete right now. He was ahead of schedule last year. I believe he snuck up on some people, as did this team. They will not do that this year.
Won't surprise anybody. And a major question now about whether or not Terry McLaurin is going to be there. So you've been able to go out and make all these contractual moves and acquire all these players. But a key player right now, they have a dispute going on with. And just like we talked about with Micah Parsons, there's no solution in sight with Terry McLaurin right now. They're in a situation where Terry McLaurin is going to argue that he should be one of the highest paid wide receivers in the game. He's produced like it. The prices of wide receivers has gone up. He can say that I was in the same draft class as DK Metcalf. My stats are better than DK Metcalf's. He's 2 years younger. My numbers are better. He got $33 million a year from the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Commanders aren't there. The Commanders are going to say, hey, you've gotten 2 other contracts. This is your 3rd contract. You're going to be 30 years old. We saw this week Cortland Sutton signed for $24 million. Mike Evans signed for $24 million. Is it DK Metcalf north of 33? Is it one of those deals? Terry McLaurin's not going to sign for that. And right now, again, they're stuck. They're stuck in a spot where there's no obvious solution. If it was so obvious for a player as talented and popular as Terry McLaurin, it would be done by now.
Yeah.
And it's not. And he's not practicing.
Stephen A.
And they need him.
It's not done. It's not done yet. That's not a good thing. But I think the presence of Jayden Daniels helps him immensely, because you want to do what you can to protect your most valuable asset, the face of the franchise. And obviously this is a veteran receiver that he played with last year that helped him immensely. So that goes a long way. The other thing we got to pay attention to in terms of what may assist Jayden Daniels, along with Deebo Samuel's arrival, is the fact that you're the Commanders. You brought back both primary tight ends in Zach Ertz and John Bates. You got to remember, Ertz, he had his career revived last year with about 66 catches or what have you. So that goes a long way. That's a reliable weapon. And in Bates, you got a cat that's a blocking specialist. So I look at all of those things, and I just say to myself, the things that they've been doing says, we know who we have in Jayden Daniels. We know what he means to this franchise. We know what he means to the future of this franchise. Let's make sure we do what we can to take care of him. And I think McLaurin falls in that category. It's not going to get him maybe the money that he wants, but it's certainly not going to be something that's insulting to him that makes him say, oh my God, I can't play this year. I can't play for this team. I think that somewhere in the middle, they'll find a way to reach an accord.
But I think that's the thing, though, right? It can't be in the middle of 24 and 33 right. to Terry McLaurin. That's not something I believe that Terry McLaurin is going to accept. And here's why, right, Stephen A. When guys don't play well in their contract years, when guys don't have that year that makes you feel like they are continuing to get better, continuing to contribute to winning for your team, then the contract reflects that. They say, wait, we can't pay you what DK Metcalf got because your statistics aren't the same. Your impact aren't the same. You can't have that conversation with Terry McLaurin. And like you said also, Stephen A., it's not just what he was able to do. It's the fact that what he is able to do is exactly what Jayden Daniels is good at doing, which is throw the deep ball. Terry McLaurin stretches the defense. There was play after play after play. We're on the receiving end of a great Jayden Daniels deep ball pass was Terry McLaurin. You don't want to allow, or you don't want it to be a situation where missing a player allows or makes your superstar young quarterback take a step back. You want to see him take the next step and become a top-tier quarterback. The executives and the coaches on Jeremy Fowler's list voted Jayden Daniels 5th, which was number 1 in the NFC and only behind Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson. Terry McLaurin was a huge piece of that. And if I'm his agent, I'm standing on the table time after time after time in every conversation, reminding Dan Quinn and reminding Adam Peters of that exact thing.
Stand on your business, huh?
On that business,
I get it. Listen. That's an excellent soliloquy that you put out there, and you didn't tell a lie. The brother can ball. Nobody's calling him a scrub. The brother can ball. He can play. Yeah. He deserves his bag. But when we talk about his bag, let's understand that when we're talking about a Justin Jefferson, when we're talking about a Jamar Chase and cats like that, it's a different level. And it's not to say that he's asking for that. CeeDee Lamb, you can throw him in there. It's not to say that he's asking for that, but he wants numbers in the ballpark. Yeah. And what I'm saying is if they get in the ballpark, he can't, just summarily dismiss that. Listen, you can't be arguing over 33 or 34 million if they put 32 on the table.
They're not
That's
there.
Basically
they're not there.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
They're not there. That's the problem. They're not there. Right? So if they're not there, there's nothing to talk about, and that's where they've been.
Right.
There's a lot of ground to make up and cover here.
Adam Schefter just coming by and dropping knowledge, correcting folks here. Adam, we appreciate you.